everyone seems to be talking about AI. And it makes complete sense because AI has the potential to make our lives significantly better or significantly worse. And time is going to tell, time is going to determine this. And we can ask ourselves a million and one questions about what's going to happen with AI. But we're going to have to wait and see. Some people want to know, is AI going to take over the world? And my argument is that for many people, it already has. Because my last video, I was talking about AI therapy. So I started going down that rabbit hole and looking into how it affects different people. And my plan for this video was to talk about how AI is affecting each each group of mental health disorders differently. And I realized there wasn't a lot of research around this for good reason because this is all still very new. And through doing research for that video, I was reading people's experience and I was reading about many people who are saying that they're addicted to AI. And I realized the best thing I can do in this video is not give you a bunch of facts, but to give you a bit of a different perspective on AI, a little bit of encouragement to do something other than AI and to think about it slightly differently. And there was this commercial in the 80s. Maybe you've seen it, even if you weren't born in the 80s. It's one of the most famous ads. And it was on the thumbnail of this video, so maybe you clicked on it. And it's a man. It's an anti-drug commercial. I think this was during the crack epidemic. I could be wrong. And the man takes an egg and he says, the egg, this is your brain. And then he cracks the egg, he cooks the egg, and he says, this is your brain on drugs. Okay. Effective commercial, I understand. But think about this. That commercial was in the 1980s, and here we are now, and many people are still dealing with addictions, and we're dealing with different addictions. I think we're dealing with a lot of culturally appropriate addictions, a lot of digital addictions. I know that alcohol use is way down. From my understanding, I don't have any sort of nuanced knowledge about that, but that's what people say, is that young people aren't really using alcohol. I think they're all addicted to technology. I think we're all addicted to technology. And I think AI has the ability to addict people even further because it's learning who you are. It's learning what you want to hear. I think AI has a very predatory approach to interacting with its users at times. And one of the things I was reading when I was doing this research was that people who have OCD are going to AI and they are addictively seeking reassurance from it, from the AI, from the LLM. And the AI just gives it to them. It just gives them the reassurance. It'll just do it endlessly. And people who are possibly prone to schizophrenia or psychosis and any of those disorders, AI is just fueling the delusions because it doesn't know the difference between what's delusional and reality. So you can tell AI that there's someone listening to you, you know, that some foreign agent, some foreign intelligence agency is listening to you through your toaster oven, and AI will tell you, will just encourage you that that's happening because it's built to tell people what they want to hear. And I really think it's a predatory model because if you look at what people do in predatory relationships, they learn about the other person. They figure out what they react to, what they like, what they don't like. And then they feed that back to them. They tell them what they want to hear in an attempt to have some sort of power over them and control and manipulate them in some way. And the AI is manipulating you to continue using it. So my only experience is with the LLMs, right? ChatGPT, those Gemini, those kinds of things. But I know there's Character.AI, there's all these different chatbots, there's all these different forms of AI in which people are interacting. And I know that with the LLMs, when you interact with them, every time they give you an answer, there's always a question at the end. Like, would you want me to do this? Do you want me to show you this? It's always asking you a question. It always wants to continue. It's never going to tell you, okay, I think that's enough for today. I think maybe you should go outside and touch some grass. It's never going to say that. Never going to say that because it wants more of your data. It wants more of your time. It wants you to get addicted to it because the more addicted you are to using this thing, the more power it has over you, the more power the tech companies have, the more power potentially the governments have if they have access to this data. And I'm not artificial intelligence by any means. I enjoy using artificial intelligence. It's made my life much easier. I've only recently started using it for work emails. I'm behind. I don't know why I didn't do that sooner. And I realized that it saves a lot of time. It can help you have more time and enjoy your life more. And if you're using AI for that reason, then you're winning. That's the stance to take. You want to do that. You want to use AI to get your time back. You want to get AI so you can experience more of your own life. But if AI becomes the experience of your life, if your entire life is just experiencing AI, you got to find a way out. You got to find a way out because it's just an addiction like anything else. And I think that we, as a culture, and I think that governments, I think groups, I think there are many, many entities out there who don't really want to resolve the fact that humans have this addictive quality in them and that we can't seem to get away from it. And sure, there's genetic predisposition to this, but I think on a larger level, I think more people are prone to it than we realize, because I think many people are addicted to things that are just culturally appropriate, whether it's shopping, whether it's AI, all of these things. And I think that it is to the advantage of many entities, of many groups, of many governments to have people who can be addicted to these things. And I think that it just goes to show that that commercial in the 80s was in the 80s. That was decades ago. And sure, like, crack is probably more addicting than AI. I don't know. I've never tried it. But still, I think that we have this innate ability for addiction built into humans, built into our DNA. And I think maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it helps us in some circumstances, in some contexts. But in many ways, I think if people don't see it for what it is and learn how to harness it, learn how to get through it, learn what is actually being addicting to you in your life, what is actually taking away from your life and what is adding to your life, then we're just going to keep going through this. This is going to be a cycle that plagues humanity. And there's many things AI can do. There's many things AI can do, but there's one thing AI can't do. There's one thing AI can't do. AI cannot live your life for you. You have to do that yourself. And if you're a young person watching this video, I have a lot of sympathy. I really, really do, because I think young people who grew up in a world where there's always been technology, there's always been the endless scroll, there's always been these very dopaminergic technological, the apps, all of this, the video games. I see kids playing these video games and that it's like, it's too much for my brain. There's too many lights, there's too many things flashing on screen. I literally can't take it. And to think that they need that much stimulation to enjoy playing that game, I am so grateful that I grew up without all of this technology. So grateful. Because when I was in high school, I had a cell phone, but it was like an old Nokia brick. It made phone calls and you could send a text message and that was it. And you could play like an 8-bit game. It was very few things you could do with this phone. And thank the powers that be. Thank God. Thank God that I didn't have an iPhone growing up. I don't think I could have handled it because I see my own addictive tendencies with some things. And I go down the rabbit hole with things all the time. And luckily I've become conscious enough of my tendencies, of my patterns to start to notice it when it happens. And, sometimes we notice it and we allow it to go on anyway, but at least you're consciously making a decision. Where I think kids, they're being given this AI, they're being given these chatbots, they're being given all sorts of things, and they don't have the ability to make a conscious decision because they don't understand the alternatives, they don't understand the risks. And I think if you are a young person and you're watching this video, because chances are, if you clicked on a video like this, then you probably have some sort of problem with technology. I think maybe even most. I don't know the number, but I think a lot of young people have a technology problem because I work in a college and I see everyone is just addicted, tied to their cell phone. And if you're a younger person who grew up always having your cell phone, if you've never lived in a world without technology, you owe it to yourself to try that. even if for a day, you should probably do it for like a week because you're going to go through, I think, a withdrawal period. And that's what scares me about AI is that people are becoming so dependent upon that, they're not going to be able to give it up. It's like GPS. Nobody knows how to get anywhere, myself included. I, I, I can go like around the block. I can get myself to, a handful of places without GPS. But other than that, like, I don't know where I'm going. And I saw this video, and it was these students who were trying to finish a college essay, and ChatGPT had gone down and they didn't know what to do. And that's the world we're living in, where once the AI goes down, once the GPS isn't there, we're completely useless. And is that really the world we want to live in? Is that the world we want to live in, where humans don't have the ability to do anything anymore? Where we don't have the creative power we once had? And I think that what the world is going to need moving forward is people who have a creative ability to actually think outside the box and to do something different, to do something interesting, to do something that they value, to do something that's of value to other people. Because I think it's going to be a long time, and I could be wrong. I'm wrong about many things. I think it's going to be a long time before the AI can do things that are actually creative. Because I've used many of the LLMs, and I've tried to use them to write scripts for YouTube. I've tried to use them for many different things. And at the end of the day, it never has a creative thought. It never has an interesting juxtaposition of two thoughts that wouldn't normally be put together. It never has all of those interesting things that you can get from your own mind, from your own conversations with people. It's just pattern recognition. It's just taking the information that's out there already and then repackaging it and rewriting it. And it's good for some things. It's good if you need something that's purely informational. It's good if you want a quick response to an email. All of those things are good. They're helpful. And if you're using it to get your time back, that's wonderful. But if you're stuck in the abusive relationship with AI, do yourself a favor, because no one else is going to do it. The AI is not going to do it. Work your way out of it. Whatever you got to crawl your way out of the AI addiction. And if you don't have an AI addiction, don't start one, because that's not helpful. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help anyone. It's not going to help humanity. It's not going to help AI. AI can't live your life for you. It can't experience your life. And there's so much to experience in life. There's so much experience that you can have in a single second if you're just present enough. If you go for a walk without your phone, without your computer, and all you've done is be on the computer all day, that walk can be so interesting. It can be so beautiful. It can be completely terrifying if you don't ever take a second without your technology. And I want to finish on this. I want to tell you the story of the Buddha, if you don't already know it. Buddha was very wealthy. Buddha was a prince. Buddha had everything. Lived in a temple, lived in a castle, and it wasn't until he gave up all of those things. It wasn't until he gave up everything and went and sat under a tree and meditated that he realized that all of those things didn't bring happiness, didn't bring enlightenment. But once he gave up everything, the enlightenment came. Do I think we all have the ability to reach Buddha's level of enlightenment? No. But I think we all have the ability to be more conscious. And I think the less you have in your life in some ways, the more conscious you can become. Because you have to be more awake. You have to be more there. And you don't have all these other things, all these other distractions around. And the narrative we're fed these days is more, optimize, productivity. But nobody talks about just maybe enjoy the moment, or enjoy a moment. I don't know that happens. I don't know that young people are doing that, and that really scares me and that really upsets me. So if you're struggling with any kind of AI addiction, I really you have my support. But do yourself a favor and figure it out. Work through it, read about it, watch videos. I may use the AI to help you if that's all you can do, but work on getting out of it, because AI can't experience your life for you. So if you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.